Hi, welcome along to another video. This time we'll catch up with some other news, also from February. So this one won't be about legislation. So we're starting Colorado from February the 12th, where it's announced that drought conditions have returned. And at the tail end of December, and this is a bit confusing because it says the district conducted 207 manual cloud seeding generator hours this year, 163 of which were in December, and it says there were just 4 remote generator hours in January, which I'm thinking they're saying that's January 2025, probably the beginning. And when they say there was 207 manual cloud seeding generator hours this year, I think they mean 2024 by that. Or there's a bit of time tripping going on, which could be a bit of a theme with this video coming up later. It's also in Colorado, courtesy of the North American weather consultants. They're very much involved in weather modification. So this was from the 20th of February, and this is how the article was. It's basically the newspapers, bits and pieces. The headline, trailer holding cloud seeding solution for St. Vrain cloud seeding program. And that's what it looks like. Just some random trailer. So Colorado, obviously with its weather modification program, there was no talk of legislation to do with Colorado, was there? Montana, also not. So Montana Agriculture Network, is cloud seeding the answer to improving Montana's snowpack? The answer is no, but they're basically doing a feasibility study to start using it. Others are saying, no, run away. Montana are going, no, we might use that then. And what we'll probably find as this pans out is that as certain states shut their programs down or legislate against them, the people with interests in those states will move to states that aren't so restrictive or do have programs. Moving over now to Canada, you'll like this one. There's nothing like an elected official showing they don't have a clue what's going on in their own country, let alone around the world, right? Just in general. Amelia Bowlby opened the floor to her constituents by hosting a town hall in a local area. One of the members of the public who attended, they asked Bowlby to table a private member's bill about looking into weather modification. So Amelia Bowlby said, as far as I know, there's no such thing as weather modification. So just no such thing, not no such thing in Canada, like no such thing as weather modification. Adding that she has family in the spray businesses and they have to abide by strict environmental laws. So she knows there's no such thing as weather modification because her family and spray business have to abide by laws. And there's not much you can really say to that, is there? Apart from, obviously, Canada has been modifying its weather since 1954. So on the 6th of February 2025, the Canadian Underwriter, Your Guide to Insurance Success since 1934, so a Canadian insurance website, and this is always where the news is regarding Canada's cloud seeding program. And the bullet point headline there is cloud seeding may have suppressed the size of hailstones during the Calgary hailstorm, which was Canada's second costliest natural disaster. Now, the fun thing about that is this statement in the article. Apart from obviously ignore the politician from just a minute ago that, weather modification doesn't exist. For those of you that do know it does, and you do know it exists in Canada. In this article, you can't change the weather, but you can suppress the size of hailstones in Alberta to mitigate damage to properties. So we know the Alberta Hail Suppression Program, running since 1954, long time. It's paid for by the insurance companies, etc. But that statement, you can't change the weather, but you can suppress the size of hailstones. So isn't suppressing the size of hailstones that arrive and fall, isn't that changing the weather? Hailstones are weather, aren't they? They're saying it there, you can't change the weather, but you can change the weather. The media gets trickier and trickier. Now, from the USA to Canada down to Mexico, exceptional drought continues to intensify in northwest Mexico. So that will obviously be bordering then with California, Arizona, those places with weather modification programs. And we know Mexico banned geoengineering, but we also know Mexico has a cloud seeding program operational. So in Mexico Daily News, the government has responded to the climate challenges by announcing a cloud seeding program. And that picture kind of confirms it, doesn't it? Europe. France. Alpha announced start dates for their 2025 campaign. So they've got just under 1,100 generators running in this campaign. They don't just operate in France, they also have been elsewhere. Croatia, where, for example, they say currently more than 500 ground-based generators are installed there in Croatia. So if you want confirmation, does Croatia have a weather modification program? Yes, it's done with Alpha, the French organisation, and they have 500 ground-based generators currently dispersing silver iodide. We've covered Hungary before on this channel and their Alpha thing. The fight against hail in Brazil, Brazilian apple producers turn to Alpha. 100 generators are installed in Brazil. So there you go. Does Brazil have a weather modification program? Yes, it's run in coordination with the French organisation Alpha, and they have 100 generators installed dispersing silver iodide. Argentina, covered them before on this channel. But do they? Yes, they do. Madrid, that's in Spain. So they've been operating for 47 years without interruption in Spain. So when people say, did Spain's cloud seeding affect the Valencia floods or anything like that, there's your confirmation that they have a weather modification program. And I should probably say, if you've got so far in this video and you're thinking, what the hell is this guy going on about? Screenshot showing you the 2 books. They're available for free. You can download them from the website, and that'll explain to you what the hell I'm going on about. Come back and watch the video afterwards. They're free, no sign up, just fill your boots. Or watch the videos in the International Weather Wars playlist. There's loads of them. It's all like this. Moving on. Zimbabwe. In the All Africa. On the All Africa website for 26th of February, there's a Herald article stating the government will create a new institutional arrangement to optimise planning and coordination of cloud seeding activities for enhanced rainfall patterns in Zimbabwe. And there is the Herald article screenshot. So for you time travellers out there, time trippers, this one's actually from 2023. It was added in 2023. Cloud seeding experiment over Solapur, India. In case you haven't gathered that it's from India. Cloud seeding experiment over Solapur led to 18% rise in rainfall, finds study. As I say, it's added in 2023, but it was updated in 1970. I just thought I'd show you that. Indonesia, they're well known to have quite a full-on weather modification program for any reason that takes their fancy, really. So when you see a headline saying Jakarta conducts another weather modification operation, it's kind of like, yeah. That was from the February 2nd. That piece of news is only useful if you're looking for confirmation of, is weather modification real? Yes. Do Indonesia do it? Yes. In the Voice of Indonesia, 2nd of February, South Kalimantan BNPB reveals the impact of weather modification at the end of January. They were able to reduce rainfall by making it rain somewhere else, basically. 5th of February, weather modifications for 5 days in a row. Jakarta rainfall decreased by 50%. There's a view inside the airplane with the salts that they're going to chuck out the plane into the clouds. 10th of February, thanks to weather modification, rainfall in Jakarta was successfully lowered by 60%. Makes you wonder what it would have been like without the weather modification then, doesn't it? 17th of February, Jakarta implements weather modification to prevent extreme rain and flooding. 17th of February, Jakarta revives weather modification effort for rain and hydrometeorological disasters. Like after a 20-minute coffee break or something. Over to Malaysia. So around the 5th of March, they were seeing if there was going to be a need for cloud seeding operations, weather modification operations. So in planning, if you like, or prepped. The Philippines. The Philippines have been covered many times on this channel. Philippines Air Force is well known to do their weather modification. But they're on 10th of February 2025. If you really need evidence about the Philippines, do they? Yes. Is there military involved? Yes. Military camps, assets, and even its personnel have been involved in different initiatives for the environment. Philippines Air Force, PAF, air assets are also usually tapped by other government agencies to monitor forests and sea conditions. We also use our aircraft for cloud seeding activities. Thailand. In the vintage aviation news, February the 13th, on Thailand's National Children's Day for 2025, the Royal Thai Air Force showcased their cloud seeding roles, their weather modification roles. So the Royal Thai Air Force showcased the cloud seeding aeroplanes to children for National Children's Day. West Asia, the Middle East, the United Arab Emirates ramps up cloud seeding to combat water shortage. So back at it, proper, the UAE is. If there are any floods, major floods in Dubai, I'll just remind you, it's not the cloud seeding weather modification program, okay? Even though they're ramping up their cloud seeding, they're doing it more, building up. If there are any floods, it's definitely not that. Times Aerospace, 21st of February, mentioned about how the UAE have built some more aeroplanes at its Abu Dhabi facility. So they build a military aircraft, but 8 of the aircraft that are being built are not being built for a military role, or not being weaponized, if you like, if that's probably a proper way to say that. 8 of them are being configured specifically for the cloud seeding or rainmaker role. Flight tests are currently ongoing. The modified B250 houses a weather radar to continuously monitor the atmosphere and to optimize the deployment of cloud seeding materials to encourage the formation of raindrops. There you go. France 24 might need some education on climatics. Apparently the UAE is stuck in eternal drought. Now that's a surprise, for a desert country to be classed as being in eternal drought. What could be done about that? Turns out they're going to use AI to make it rain. So we've covered this before, basically the introduction of AI to go, yes, it's optimal now. The AI tells the AI on the drone to release the particulates. The drone releases the particulates, comes back to base as programmed and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's inevitable, but it's also already happened. So it's not even a question of it being, it's inevitable on a large scale, but it's already happening on a smaller scale. So France, national newspaper, stuck in eternal drought. It's a desert. In the Arab news, why the UAE climate scientists have their heads in the clouds. And there's a mention of a 3-year project funded with $1.5 million from the UAE's rain enhancement program. And that's how the AI promises to improve on the current method of cloud seeding flights directed by human experts, etc. So, $1.5 million, there's some money in it already. I have no idea who this company is. Don't know who they are, what they're about, what they do. So please don't sue me, wonderful company. I promise you I'm not defaming you, I'm just covering this story. The wonderful company files defamation lawsuit against activists citing anti-Semitism. So the activist is Flor Martinez Zaragoza, and they're being sued by the wonderful company over false claims about cloud seeding. So apparently this person is spreading falsehoods about the wonderful company and saying they're involved in weather modification here, there, and where have you. Personally, I've never heard of the wonderful company and being involved in weather modification, but I'm sure we can look further into that quite easily in another video. So just to be clear again, also in a future one, we're going to get into the ethics of using weather modifications for military gain, which was in Weather Fox on the 4th of February. I thought that was going to be just a short, I'll just chuck that in. No, after checking the images that they showed with the descriptions and that, it's going to need a bit more input. To finish up with France 24, there's an Agence France Presse, the French press agency, piece in a couple of media outlets, and they're basically commenting on, this is 27th of February, so the end of February, they're basically making mention of the legislation that's being passed in America, and of course putting their spin on it. So fake stories that atmospheric experiments are triggering natural disasters have led to US states pushing blanket bans on weather modification, which experts say may jeopardize current, local, scientific programs and hinder future research. France's weather modification program is the oldest on planet Earth. Scientific programs. Indonesia modified its weather to create good weather for a sporting event. How is that a scientific program? They did it for an election period, so for the voting days. How is that a scientific program? They did it to lay the tarmac on a runway for their second provincial capital, modifying the weather to lay tarmac on a runway at an airport to create good weather to do that, to make sure they could do the work. How is that a scientific program? What future research? What is that? People are modifying the weather to lay tarmac on a runway. Like, what future research is needed? Like, what are these people talking about? Like I said, mainstream media, tricky. One of the comments there, when they talk about the conspiracy theories and floods and what have you, this, that and the other, in response, lawmakers are moving to criminalise legitimate scientific experiments in the atmosphere. You'll never ask for your consent, are you? If you're okay with that. We want to do a scientific experiment in the atmosphere that's going to change your weather. Are you all right with that? Do you mind me taking control of your weather with my scientific experiment? So they're not legitimate, are they? Legitimate means something. Legitimate scientific experiments. And there is the AFP thing in Yahoo News, proposed weather control ban surge across US states. And it's also in the Straits Times as well, and a couple of other places. The mainstream media are really struggling with this subject. It's really funny to kind of note in 2025, it's like 10 years ago maybe, but 2025 is just like you people watching this video, you're levels above these people that are actually trying to produce the information that you're supposed to be consuming on the subject. Like, they're decades behind you. Consider that today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget you can get these books. It starts in France, 1769, 255 years ago to 256 years ago. It's not a new thing, been experimented with a long time ago. Look after yourselves, take care, see you next time.